You sure?
Yeah.
So, I mean, first and foremost,
Yeah.
start with yourself.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if everyone knows, but we had some people resign. President Shatkin resigned the day after the last meeting. Chief Rizzo resigned from both law enforcement and the board. Bob Boyle from Passaic County, our northern rep, resigned. Alan Van Savage, our central rep, resigned. Sherry Mosca, the chief of Burlington County Spca, they shut Burlington County Spca down. Well,
the law
the
enforcement.
law enforcement part of it. So that being said, Matt Payne has been appointed as the chief, to which we have to ratify tonight. He's giving up his board seat, and that'll be taken over by Cindy Nito. Cindy was our compliance officer. She knows what's going on with all of the books and insurances and all the important stuff that we need to know about. As far as the other, I'd like to, you want to do it one at a time, or how you want to do it?
Let's
Start with you.
the president.
Okay. All right.
So somebody other than you.
So I'll make a motion that Larry, you take over as president and you vacate the vice presidency.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Larry, president.
Okay. So, should we go to the vice president next? Since we're on that roll.
Yeah, if you want to do an open vote on it, sure.
Okay. I had asked Matt, this is gonna drive me crazy, Matt Stanton to be my vice president. And he so graciously accepted that.
Oh, so graciously.
Oh, so graciously.
Somebody want to second Larry's motion?
I'll second that.
Alright. Discussion? Pat, you open to that?
You accept?
I'm here to serve.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You have a vice president?
Vice president? Okay. Treasurer, Matt Payne resigned as treasurer, and we'd like to see Cindy Nito as the treasurer.
So I'd make a motion that we hold off on appointment of a treasurer until we fill the board seats.
Okay.
So make a motion.
I'd make a motion to hold off on appointment of any additional officers until we fill the board seats.
Well, so Cindy was actually appointed to the board already, so it's a
No,
it needs to be ratified.
but she wasn't voted on by the board, so it's not a ratification. It is, the board needs to appoint her, so that's a vote of the board. So prior to holding office, she needs to be voted on to become a board member. It's neither here nor there, we just need to do it, and then we can appoint her.
So if you would consider retracting your motion, I would make a motion to add Cindy to the board formally and have the board vote on it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, a lot of seconds.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, Cindy, come on up.
Come on, Cindy. Okay.
Mr. President, do you have a motion for filling an office on the board?
I do.
Oh, fantastic.
I would like to appoint Cindy Nito as the treasurer.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now the treasurer. Wait a minute.
Larry, we will need to consider a new compliance officer
Yes,
to replace Cindy.
yes.
So maybe at the next meeting, we can,
Yeah,
we'll have someone ready by then.
okay.
Now we do the different counties.
So-
Well, why don't we just fill the board?
If I may, Larry, make a motion to have Jim Ciano replace the northern rep, as he's a representative from the Passaic County SPCA.
Yeah, he just needs to be elected he needs to be appointed
Appointed.
and voted on by the board, because he was nominated by the county to be the northern rep, so. Are you a member of the state SPCA as well?
He's not.
Okay, he has to become a member of the state SPCA first. You have to vote him into membership. He does.
Okay. So I'll amend my motion to add James Ciano into membership.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay,
I'd like to make another motion, if I may,
you're like
to have,
a waterbed.
I'll do what I can. To have Jim replace Bob Boyle as the northern rep, as he was the nominee from the northern counties.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now we have a
Jim,
motion.
now you're the northern rep.
Right, did the central.
Now we'll do the central rep. Oh, wait, first we gotta put him on. No,
Who?
Ed.
No, he's a member.
He's
Ed's
a
a
member.
member. So, we don't have to vote on that.
So he was nominated by a county.
By a county
Okay, so
to become
So
the
somebody-
we just
central
have to
rep.
vote on him becoming a member of the board.
Yes.
Who needs to make a motion?
I'll make a motion
That
for Ed to become a board member.
from Somerset County.
Yeah.
Yeah, the central rep, he was nominated by, and proposed to the board by the central, by Somerset, which is in the central. And so now we just need to
So I
vote
get
on
a
him.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ed,
Ed, come on up.
Congrats.
Now we got to start. He was for
Central.
Central.
crowded up here again.
I just need to pull out, keep me honest on geography. All right, southern.
Now we're gonna do
Good. I mean, I don't know the person.
Okay, I'd like to bring a southern rep in from Burlington County, who's a farmer in the county, has a huge produce company, okay? I think it would behoove us to have a farmer on the board, because we get a lot of pushback from the Farm Bureau, that we don't have enough people that are interested. And what I'm trying to do here is trying to bring in people from different areas, so that it's not all law enforcement people.
Did Somerset County nominate the person?
In Burlington.
Burlington.
I'm sorry, did Burlington nominate the person?
Sherry just
Resigned.
closed up shop, resigned from everything. So,
Okay, but we can't take that person on as a representative that fits that slot without a nomination from one of the counties.
okay,
And
We
that's
can add
a
the person on
statutory.
membership.
Yeah, but that's not even a bylaw, that's a statutory issue under Title IV, that the person, in order to be a representative of that, to fill that slot,
I'll
needs to
call
be
Sherry
nominated.
tomorrow.
Because the organization still exists, I
Yes.
understand the law enforcement.
Yes.
Sorry to be a pain, I just
Do you want
wanted
to add
to
the
be.
person up? Do you want to make a motion for membership for the person?
Sure,
At least
absolutely.
so that that's handled?
Yeah,
You just have to keep track to make sure that seat doesn't get filled and we don't double fill the seat.
no, it's.
No, understood.
So, I'd like to nominate Chip Katona as a member of the New Jersey State SPCA. to be a future rep of the southern area.
Okay, so we're gonna vote him into membership today, and then we will take up his board.
Once we get a nomination from Burley.
Correct. So I'll second the nomination for membership to the state SPCA.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just make sure that the vetting.
Chip, I just need to talk to you before you leave, get all your details.
No problem.
Okay, next. We have 2 more seats. There he is. Deputy Chief.
Put that at the table.
Two of which are.
Governor's office as well.
We're still one short. We're short 1 governor.
Right, well, and that we can't fill.
No, but I'm
But,
just
you
saying.
know, understood. So
Okay.
that makes 14. And we have
And one
one
county.
so that's.
We have 2 seats left, he's
Yeah, I
right.
know. I want to make sure that we're good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I don't want to undo it.
Okay. So the next appointment that I'd like to make is Susan Carbora to the board. Susan, are you here?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, so you have a motion on the floor. We
Okay.
have a second.
Second.
I have the second. Any discussion?
Get some background on who she is?
Sure. Susan, do you want to stand up and introduce yourself to some of the people that are not familiar with you?
Sure. I'm Susan Carbora. I've been with the SPCA for about 4 years, and once Ed was director of the Community Service Division, I was appointed administrative assistant to that division. Came thanks to Adonisio and Payne, and have been doing work with Ed since we were appointed to spread the education and welfare of animal rights.
And a fine job she's been doing.
So I just want to add to that, I think, again, diversing the board to more of the open membership, more civilian roles, is something, you know, we need to start looking at. And I think Roy would be a great fit for that.
I agree.
Anybody need more discussion?
Any more?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you want me to go around for this one, or just all in favor?
No, it's a long thing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Susan, come on up.
Here again.
Nice.
Like the fair one was empty, didn't you?
We have one more left.
One left. My last appointment, I'd like to appoint,
Well, motion.
make a motion that Danielle Cusmano Fornicola 2.
Cusmano's gone.
Do we have a second? Discussion. I think, no offense. I think it's important to know, does anyone else have a motion of someone that they would like to consider for the board seat also? Not that you're not more than qualified for it, Danielle, but as Larry gets the floor first, just in case anybody has anybody else that they're interested in, we should know that before we put a vote out there. So,
It's like a no to me.
okay. Everybody comfortable with all in favor? All in favor for Danielle Fornicola to be made to the board? Aye.
Find a seat.
Bring a chair.
Bring your own.
Now there's one.
So the only three remaining seats are, one is the southern representative and the 2 gubernatorial appointees.
Steve, can you find out about that?
Yeah, I can reach out to the appointments office.
I know that Deborah Bresch,
Mm-hmm.
she was supposed to be coming on board.
She would be awesome to come on board.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a number of
Still on.
conversations with her even recently. She's still interested, and I don't know where it got hung up, but,
Yeah,
um,
it's just a legislature.
Yeah.
People can, you know, pass away leaving you get from.
All right, so that concludes that part.
Got a full house there. So you got a full house here.
I don't want.
We gotta do the minutes, Frank.
No, so there was a glitch in them, so I'll distribute them for next month.
Okay,
We'll do 2 months at once.
all right. Treasurer, we need to get that.
Cindy, are you prepared to report on that, or?
No.
No,
I gotta review with her.
okay,
I'll pass down everything. and
okay.
we'll-
Can you email it out to everybody?
Yep.
We have to
Well,
fill the position. Do it-
Well, we did that.
We did
Oh,
that.
we did
We
that.
did.
We filled the position of treasurer? Well, yeah, we did right
We did.
afterwards. Okay, fine. We did. Sorry. I just wanted-
You laughed.
Yes, I did. Thank you. No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. We have to, do we have to vote on Danielle being the animal advocate?
I don't think we have to, but we should, just for
Okay.
the formality of it.
So I'd like to, as I said before, nominate Danielle Fornicola as the animal advocate chairperson.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Danielle, you're the chair.
This animal advocate.
We have a compliance person there.
We need a compliance
We're gonna
person, but
think of one.
Okay, I didn't know if you did.
No, we're,
Larry,
Very
if I-
prepared, so I
Figure
thought
one out.
maybe.
Larry,
Well-
if I may, anybody that's interested in filling that
Yeah.
role, please reach out to President Donato.
send me an email, just shoot an email out, if you're interested. And we'll give you the.
Cannot be someone that's at this table, so
You want to explain what the science officer does?
Basically, Cindy, how about it? Because you did it.
It encompasses basically everything. We need to make sure that we're in compliance with every aspect of the agency, insurance,
taxes.
taxes, charities, and it's a constant follow-up and contacting whoever's in charge of that paperwork, that they're constantly doing it. You gotta maintain deadlines.
I mean, I would also suggest that the additional responsibility at this point would be that person would be highly involved in the inventory process and helping to understand what property is owned by the organization, inventorying that property, and then working with the president to work with the AG's office to determine.
I think
that.
that's putting
No, ma'am,
extra work on someone who's already has a lot of work.
okay, well, that's
We're
fine, that
gonna
would be my
put
suggestion.
together a committee for the inventory of everything that we have. And I spoke to Harry Levin about it, and he thinks that's the way to go. Before the AG's office comes swooping in and takes everything that we own.
He's saying that we should have an inventory ready, is what you're saying? Cataloged and?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Of every pencil, pen, marker, whatever. Just get it on paper. That,
I don't know if you're taking, suggestions for the compliance officer, but, I'd like to put Tatiana's name in for compliance officer, if she's interested.
she's holding her head.
She is
I don't know, Ed. I don't know.
I think she would be good simply because of the fact that she's very organized, she's very methodical, she's very detail-oriented, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
I have a question. First I want to ask, is that something that you want to do?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll do it. So
There you go.
There you go.
So, you have the motion.
You wanna do it now?
Well, you have a motion and you have someone that's interested. It's up to you if you
I,
want,
I'm,
if you want to tender the motion or not.
I'm all for it, because, you know, we fall, I don't wanna fall behind.
Right, I agree.
So I think it's a good thing that we do it tonight.
So
Okay.
Ed has a motion on the floor to make Tatiana the new compliance officer. Do we have a second?
Second.
And yeah. Discussion?
Yes.
She's crying.
Are this
It's not that bad.
I'm gonna make a good objection, and this is a compliment, but she does such a good job. I think that we once again are stretching someone who does a really good job in the law enforcement field right now. A very good agent, does very good reports, but I think there should be some other people to step up here and assist and not really put the burden just on her. So I'd like to see some other people assist in this, and there'd be more of a committee instead of a one solo shop here.
So she could be the compliance
Hold on,
chairperson.
Well, chairperson has to be,
Because what
Someone from the
has
board.
been problematic in the past is people overwhelming themselves and wearing too many hats. So I think that as a solo person, I think it'd be overwhelming for her, and I'm making that judgment as a compliment, not as objection, but.
So what I would say to that is I agree that too many people wear too many hats and oftentimes get overstretched. To kind of echo what you were implying, you can create committees. They don't have to be committees that are in
that's what I
the
plan on.
past. So we may want to have a compliance committee
Mhm.
of 2 to 3 people, so that the job is not left to one person. And not that you're not, I agree with Phil, not that you're not capable, but you're out there busting your hump, doing investigations 5 to 6 days a week already. So,
So is there anyone that's willing to assist her?
Well,
so we should
Hold
be.
on, we gotta,
I know that, I'm just trying, we need people involved. I know everyone's doing something and helping, but the idea is here to really reach out to membership.
Well, this is discussion session, guys.
so we could
yeah,
keep her what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep her name in here as the compliance officer. I'm going to make committees. She'll be the chair of that committee.
Fair enough.
And in the interim, we'll try to find someone to help her out with it.
So Ed needs to amend his motion if he's open to that solution, to that.
I'm open to it. It's whatever works best for the organization and what makes the job the most efficient that it can be.
I think his motion still stands, but if I
It's
understood.
amended.
Well, no, what I'm,
She's still the chief compliance
right,
officer.
what I'm suggesting is, his motion is still to make Tatiana the chief compliance officer, and then afterwards you'll create the committee and
Right.
fill the committee, but Phil
Okay,
has to,
then it's fine.
Phil has to remove his objection, or we can vote and he can
Well,
be a nay.
this is the discussion portion.
Well, with the understanding that, yeah, committee be formed, I of course support, obviously,
Okay.
her being a chair, yeah, of course.
You want it all in favor or up, down?
Just do it all in favor.
All in favor of Tatiana being